Hey guys, PDJ Cruz here. Just wanted to update you. I left off a small but important part in my first video on setting up. Don't know why. I was kind of hovering around the folder the whole time towards the end and somehow didn't pull it up. So anyway, going back in, and this is still under the setup, so I'll probably label this Chapter 1A or something. The reference folder, reference material folder, and some of you are probably wondering what I exactly have set up, what I have going on in there. And I mean, I won't go into the Stephen Slate Drums 4 folder, which we've already covered in the tracking and mixing. But under the reference material, and this is really just something where I'll just keep archived here in Sonar, and I won't really use except when I need to listen to something. And again, it's a reference track, so it's something I'm going to refer to here and again, but not something it's going to be I'm listening to on a regular basis. Because of the way I write material, I'm by myself. I'm not jamming with anybody. I don't have a drummer or a bass player or whatever, keyboard player. So I basically will record ideas as I think of them, record them into my DAW, and that's why the whole workflow thing of templates comes in really, really key for me to get the stuff going while the idea is still hot in my head. So I'll lay some ideas down, and ideas beget other ideas, which then lead to songs. And I'll sit there and play with drum loops or MIDI grooves or whatever, and lay them all down in the tracks. And eventually, I'll get this really, really rough sketch of a song. That then what I'll do is I'll export it as a mix down in Sonar as a demo project, and then I'll burn it to a CD, listen to it in my car, and basically learn the song, because up until that point it really was just bits and pieces that got assembled into a song, almost like a puzzle. I put it together. Whereas if you're jamming with a band, you guys get together, you jam, and I've done this way back in the day, but those days are gone. But you jam with a band, next thing you know, in 5 minutes you've got a song written. You guys just start jamming and jamming, and one guy comes up with a riff, and the drummer comes in with a beat, and you guys start doing this and that. Well, next thing you know, you've got yourselves a song. Well, working by myself, it doesn't work that way, at least not as smoothly as I'd hope. So I've got all these little ideas that I'll write down, and then I'll work it from there. So I'll take this exported mix down of a demo, and then I've got several of these now for the Atlantis suite, and then I'll come into Sonar here, and let me pull up, I'm in demo track, and I'll come into, hold on here we go, come into Sonar. I'm going to do import audio, and then I'll come in, let's just do, where is it here, riffs and beards, and I'll import, actually let me kind of move you down over here. Okay, we go like that. Yep, that's fine. So now I'll have a reference song here in Sonar that I can sit there and listen to. I can play it in Sonar, and as I'm listening to it, I can put down my track markers here in the timeline for beginning of the song, chorus, verses, guitar solo, outro, whatever, and then basically form the song on the timeline up here based on my demo track. And then I will record in a seamless final track for guitars, for bass, and for the drums, and drums, bass, guitars, and so forth. And the tracks will then be recorded from the ground up as sort of based on this image here that I've created from my previous demo mixdown. Now the song takes a new shape in the evolved form in the in the final final project here, and that's what I'll use this demo track for. So it's basically just like a placeholder, so I can kind of set the foundation and lock it down to where something I'm aiming at something. There's a specific goal in mind to get this thing done, but as a final processed song, and then from there, now I'll go ahead and archive that, get that out of my way. And then under reference, what I'll do is I'll basically put in, like a demo track of, not a demo track, excuse me. I can go to an audio CD if I want to pull in a song, or, and basically I'm going to use this reference track. I'll put in like a Dream Theater song, or a Steve Vai song, or Satriani, or whoever. Whatever material would be similar to the song I'm working on, is what I'll put in this reference track here. And again, it'll be archived so it doesn't play. I won't hear it at all. But what I'll do is I'll kind of use that as a sort of guide to help me mold my song sonically to where that's my ultimate goal for the song is that. And I'm shooting for that particular star. So if the song I have is kind of, you know, reminiscent of, you know, classic Deep Purple or something, you know, then I'll probably, you know, upload and I'll put an insert here in the reference track, a Deep Purple song, you know, like Highway Star or whatever, and I'll load it in there. And then as I start recording, if I find I'm getting off track, you know, I'll pull this track up, unarchive it, solo it out, and I'll sit there and I'll turn it up and rock, you know, listen to it, have it inspire me or whatever. And then as I go into mix down or whatever, if I'm like, I really like the vibe, or I really like that sound that they're getting on this or on that, or I really like the way that, you know, the compression kicks in, or the tightness or something, then I've got something to go with. I've got a reference here that I can listen to, in like A and B, so to speak, with my material and this material, especially as I do mix downs and the mastering and that sort of thing. So just kind of give me some guidance, so to speak, as I evolve with the project. And that's really all I had for the reference material, guys. I mean, but I think it's an important, because it gives you a like a lens to look through for my own song as I basically recreate the magic, so to speak, from the demo to the new track, the newly recorded track. And then as that evolves in the recording process, I can then pull up the reference track here if I want to make it, have it like that Dream Theater polished sound, or, you know, like a Inningway recording or whatever. I've got sort of something to kind of, you know, compare my recording to. And that's really all I had. I think this is very, very key, and it kind of gives you like that little lens to look through to see, you know, how far you from hitting the bullseye, or if you're on target, or if you're, you know, not even in the ballpark. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there on this one here, and that is it. That's all I had for today. It's a real quick, short video, and that's all I had. And stay tuned for more from the Atlantis Chronicles. Rock on, guys. Talk to you later.